I was wounded back-to-back twice in 3 months, once in Ukraine and once on the southern Lebanese border with Israel. My name is Dylan Collins. I'm a video journalist based in Beirut with AFP. I've been living and working in the Middle East for 15 years and covering conflict for about 10 of those years. And with AFP, I've done a ton of missions. The war in Ukraine and most recently the escalation along the Lebanese border with Israel. The day the full-scale invasion started in Ukraine, I was covering a Ukrainian protest in Beirut, and I got a call from my boss saying, "Pack your bag, get ready to go. We need you in Ukraine." I flew to Warsaw and I met up with my colleagues Arman Solidan and Dimitar Tilkov. And we got in a car and started heading towards the border. We crossed from Poland into Ukraine on this about midnight of the second day of the war. Super cold, and there was just streams of people trying to get out of Ukraine. We were just watching a country kind of implode and collapse on itself because of this surprise full-scale attack. And we spent about 3 days trying to make it to Kyiv. And when we got in, it was block by block, all of these makeshift checkpoints, flipped over cars, shopping carts, guys with AK-47s, some with no weapons, everyone kind of doing the neighborhood watch, on the lookout for Russian infiltrators, basically. And we had to start figuring out how to work there. At first we didn't have cars, we didn't have drivers, we didn't have translators. We had left the bureau because it's close to the presidential palace, and we thought maybe that could be a target of an attack. So we were kind of posted up in a hotel. We very quickly became a unit, like a family unit, eating together, covering in very risky situations. 3 weeks into the invasion, Russians were making progress on either side of the city, and really it looked like they were going to try to encircle Kyiv. We started wondering if we were going to be besieged, if we were going to be stuck there, and there were some serious conversations about should we stay, should we go, what's the right call, what's the safest call. All of us covering at that moment decided we wanted to stay because that's the job, and that's how you tell the story. I think if you're not afraid going to conflict zones, and it's a problem. I think fear is important, and it helps you measure risk, and it motivates you, it keeps you alert, but you have to feel it. We lost a colleague, Arman. A couple months after him, I was wounded in a super similar incident. It's a reminder of how dangerous our job can be, and the risks we take to tell the story. I was wounded back-to-back twice in 3 months. Once in Ukraine and once on the southern Lebanese border with Israel. The second strike was a double-tap targeted attack against journalists. I almost died in Ukraine. We lost a colleague in Lebanon. Our colleague Christina Assi lost her legs. I think getting wounded is it's not just traumatizing for you and facing your own potential death. It's traumatizing for your friends and your family, for your colleagues, for your loved ones. I think I ask myself every day if I'm doing the right thing, or if this is the right profession for me, if it's a selfish thing. And you never know when the right time is to go back to the field, to go back to the front line, to take those risks again. There's never a clear answer. I cannot deny that it is this innate urge in my core to witness history, to document it, to be in it, and to record history for those that aren't there, for them to see it and learn from it and witness it too, I think is powerful.